Imagine, 15th of July, 1099, you are standing on the walls of Jerusalem. The sun is beating down so hard that the stones are burning hot. Behind you lies the defenders' last hope. Ahead of you is a sea of crusaders who have been marching here for 3 years through deserts and mountains. And now something will begin that will change the world forever. Today, we won't just tell you about the Crusades. We'll take you there, into the dust, into the blood, into the very heart of a holy war that lasted almost 200 years. 10 facts that will make you look at history differently. Let's go. Fact number 1. And it's just crazy. The Crusaders ate their enemies. Yes, you heard right. Imagine 1098. The Siege of Mara. The First Crusade is stuck. Provisions ran out weeks ago. The knights who set out to liberate the Holy Land are now gnawing on leather straps and boiling grass. Children are crying from hunger. The horses were eaten long ago. And then the unthinkable happened. The chronicler, Fulcher of Chartres, who was there, wrote, "Our people boiled pagan adults in cauldrons and impaled children on spits, devouring them." Arab historian Ibn al-Asir confirms that the Crusaders did not simply eat those who had died of starvation. They deliberately hunted down prisoners. It wasn't just hunger. It was a deliberate tactic of intimidation. Rumors of this spread throughout the region faster than the Crusader army itself. Welcome to the reality of the Holy War. Fact number 2, and it will break your heart. In 1212, thousands of children set out to recapture Jerusalem. Children, aged between 7 and 14. Close your eyes. You are a 10-year-old boy from a French village. A shepherd named Stephen says that Christ appeared to him, that children, pure in spirit, will be able to liberate the Holy Land where adults have failed, that the sea will part before you, as it once did before Moses. And you go, thousands of you, without weapons, without supplies, with faith and songs. The sea did not part. Some of the children died of hunger and disease along the way. Others were sold into slavery by traders who promised to take them across the Mediterranean Sea. Those who reached the ports were met by the slave markets of North Africa. Almost none of them returned home. The Children's Crusade is not a fairy tale about faith. It is a tragedy that shows how insane the obsession with Jerusalem was. Fact number 3. Get ready. 15 July, 1099, Jerusalem fell. And what happened next? Even the Crusaders themselves called it a massacre. You burst into the city through a breach in the wall. Adrenaline, the fury of 3 years of marching. All those losses, hunger, comrades who died along the way, and you don't stop. The chronicler Raymond of Aguilera, a priest who was there, wrote, "The streets of Jerusalem were knee-deep in blood. It was ankle-deep for horsemen." Between 40,000 and 70,000 people, Muslims, Jews, even Eastern Christians, anyone who didn't look like a Western Christian. The massacre lasted 2 days. The Jews hid in the synagogue. The Crusaders nailed the doors shut and set fire to the building. Everyone burned alive. And then these same knights, knee-deep in blood, went to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to pray and thank God for their victory. There you have your holy war. Fact number 4 is the most dangerous. Imagine you are the king of Jerusalem. You have an army, castles, allies, but there is one thing that keeps you awake at night: assassins. The Nizaris, the Ismailis, the Hashashins, a sect of assassins who terrorized everyone, both the Crusaders and the Muslim rulers. Their base was the fortress of Alamut in the mountains of Persia, impenetrable. Their weapon was not armies, but lone assassins, ready to wait for years. In 1192, they sent a message to the Crusaders. Do you know how? The king woke up and saw a dagger stuck in the pillow next to his head, with a note, "Next time it will be your heart." The guards didn't notice anything. The assassin came and went like a ghost. Assassins killed dozens of leaders on both sides. Their name became synonymous with fear. And you know what's most terrifying? They didn't do it for money. They did it for their faith. They believed that dying on a mission was a direct path to paradise. That's where the word assassin comes from. Fact number 5, and it will change your perception of the barbarian Saracens. 2nd of October, 1187, Saladin recaptures Jerusalem. You're expecting a massacre, aren't you? After what the Crusaders did 88 years ago? No. Saladin gave the Crusaders 40 days to collect the ransom and leave. Those who couldn't pay were released. He paid the ransom for thousands of poor Christians from his own treasury. When his commanders asked, "Why?" "They slaughtered all your people." Saladin replied, "I don't want to be like them." He ordered the Dome of the Rock to be washed with rose water because the Crusaders had turned the mosque into a church. But Christians were allowed to stay in the city and pray. Even European chroniclers acknowledged that Saladin was more noble than many Christian kings. Irony, the man who was called the enemy of Christianity showed more Christian mercy than the Crusaders themselves. The 6th fact is unexpected. The Crusades created the world's first emergency medical care system. Imagine, you are wounded in battle, an arrow in your shoulder, blood gushing. In Europe, you would simply bleed to death on the battlefield. But here, the Hospitallers appear, night monks in black cloaks with white crosses. They lift you up. They carry you to a hospital in Jerusalem, where there are 1,000 beds. Doctors, Arabs, Jews, Christians work together. They have surgical instruments, opium-based anesthesia, and knowledge of hygiene that Europeans learned from Muslims. The Hospitallers treated everyone, even Muslim prisoners. Their motto was, "Defend the faith and help the suffering." These knights fought like demons, but they bandaged the wounds of their wounded enemies. They became the prototype for the Red Cross. The order still exists today, the Order of Malta. Even in a holy war, there was a drop of humanity. Fact number 7, and it sounds like the plot of a film. Meet King Baldwin IV. He is 16 years old. He is the king of Jerusalem, and he is a leper. Close your eyes. You are a teenager, ruler of the most desirable city in the world. Your body is slowly decaying. Your fingers are falling off. Your face is covered with sores. You wear a silver mask so as not to frighten your courtiers. The doctors say you have a year, 2 at most, and Saladin is marching on your city with an army of 30,000 soldiers. You have 500 knights. And what does Baldwin do? In 1177, at the Battle of Montgizard, he personally leads a cavalry charge. The leper king on a white horse, with a sword in his rotting hand, crashes into Saladin's army and wins. He defeats an army dozens of times larger than his own. Saladin barely escapes with his life. Baldwin ruled for 11 years. He died at the age of 24. His body decayed during his lifetime, but his spirit never did. Jerusalem remembers its leper king as a hero. The 8th fact, and it's simply shameful. The 4th Crusade. The goal? Jerusalem. Where did they go? To Constantinople, a Christian city, the capital of the Christian Byzantine Empire. Yes, the Crusaders did not plunder Muslims. They plundered their fellow believers. 3 days of slaughter, churches desecrated, nuns raped, relics stolen. The Great Library burned down, thousands of ancient manuscripts turned to ashes. Pope Innocent III, who had organized the crusade, was furious. He wrote, "You went to liberate Jerusalem, but instead you drank the blood of Christians." The Eastern and Western churches split irrevocably. The wound has not healed even now. 1,000 years later, the crusade that killed the crusading movement from within. Fact number 9. The final battle. 1291. Acre is the last Crusader city in the Holy Land. The Mamluk Sultan Al-Ashraf Khalil has brought an army of 200,000. The defenders have 15,000, including old men and children. The siege has lasted a month. The walls are crumbling under the blows of catapults. There is no food, there is no water, but the knights do not surrender. On 28th May, the final assault begins. The master of the Knights Templar, Guillaume de Beaujeu, fights to his last breath. He is found under a mountain of enemy corpses. Women and children are evacuated to ships. People jump into the sea and drown in their armor. The ships are overloaded. Some sink right in the harbor. By evening, Acre had fallen. Almost all of the defenders had perished. The Crusades were over. 200 years of holy war. And everything had returned to the beginning. Jerusalem was Muslim once again. Thousands of castles stood empty. The last Crusaders sailed away from the Holy Land on May 18th, 1291. An era had come to an end. And finally, the 10th fact. The Crusades killed more Christians than Muslims. Jewish pogroms in Europe before each campaign. The massacre in Constantinople. Wars between the Crusaders themselves. Famine and disease. According to historians' estimates, between 1 and 3 million people died. Most of them were Christians and Jews. What remains of the Holy War? Ruins of castles in the desert, scars that have not healed after 1,000 years. And the question we still ask ourselves, was any holy site worth millions of lives? History does not provide simple answers, but it does provide lessons. If this video made you think, please give it a like. If you watched it to the end, you are no longer the same person you were 10 minutes ago. Subscribe. We will return to the past again. Jerusalem still stands and still remembers.